welcome back to AdCast. This is our own little homegrown segment called Ad Insight. My name's Nick Lorden.
And I'm Syleste Porter. And as Nick said before, we are getting ready to have our discussion on ad attacks. And that's what we're going to discuss during our Ad Insight section. And we have here Carl Vervisch, who's going to help us, discuss this conversation about attack ads in today's economy and the effects, and is it something that's working for advertisers, and just get a little bit of feedback.
Thanks, Celeste.
Thank you, Carl.
So, Carl, what are attack ads, buddy?
You're just going to put me on the spot like that.
You're attacking
Okay.
Carl right now.
I feel I'm getting defensive
Raise
right
your
now.
hands if you know what attack ads
an
are.
attack ad
You're running out of time, Carl.
is when one, that's when one company seeks to, it's basically the old playground method for the bullies, where one company wants to make itself look better by belittling another.
Oh.
That's basically how it works.
I like that example. Sounds like what I'm going to do to you.
Oh, how about that?
Uh-oh. What does that mean?
How about that? Celeste, tell me what you know about... No, I won't do that to you.
Uh-oh, on the spot.
So, but no, Celeste and I were earlier. We had sort of looked over UPS and FedEx. There was an interesting ad that they recently ran, and I guess it was UPS attacking FedEx, saying that they were a more reliable brand when FedEx has always sort of had that.
Yeah.
And that sort of backfired on them.
I thought that was really interesting. I saw that as well.
Yeah, that's pretty interesting. That's
FedEx is there for years. Their motto has been something along the lines of "when it absolutely, positively has to be there." And now UPS, came out and said, "Well, we were voted the most reliable in such and such a poll," and FedEx sued them promptly and said, "No, you can't say that because that's you have no basis for that claim." At the time they did, I think, at first, and then the same study that they were basing that on came out the next month and said that FedEx was back on top.
So do you think it's worth it for these companies to take this type of risk? I mean, or do we know if we're seeing some turnaround?
I mean, I guess it depends on the risk. If you're in a position where you're a brand that holds a certain ground and you know it and you've been there forever and there's no question about it, I don't know why sure. Go for it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Volvo's never going to come into a situation with someone else where they cannot say, "Hey, we're safer," and a lot of brands work that way. They have their certain niche that they fall into, and something that they've, made their own, to where a lot of them don't need to make an ad about it. You just think that.
Exactly. Go ahead.
I've always wondered why McDonald's and Burger King never had a fry war.
Oh, a fry war?
Because that's like the bottom line
French
for me.
fry.
It's always a French fry thing.
Yeah. It comes down to the fries.
It comes down to the fries.
Right.
And as we all know, McDonald's dominates in that war.
Oh, really? Are you getting a check for that?
Oh.
From who?
Well, McDonald's is in a war.
That's a
McDonald's is in a war right now, but it's not on the fries. It's on the coffee.
Right.
They're going head to head with Starbucks, which is, just someone that, I don't know. So someone that drinks Starbucks, that sounds ridiculous.
Exactly.
And to someone that doesn't, they're just sort of like, oh, McDonald's has good coffee? Okay.
What I've found to be interesting about that was if you actually look at their pricing, they're depending on being the cheaper house, and people are going to want theirs. But for like the large at the Starbucks, it's or the medium, it's $3.89, and at McDonald's it's $3.29. So
ooh,
about like
big 60 cents.
Well, at McDonald's you can get the hamburger, the fries, the milkshake, the coffee. I mean, it's one-stop shop.
You gonna
So.
check
That's
for
true.
that, Celeste?
I might be.
Now featuring. Yeah, that's true. I mean, they have that going for them because they kind of have the horizontal monopoly, if you will, because they have all those other things covered, whereas Starbucks has food now. They just maybe that's what it is. McDonald's is mad because Starbucks just came out with those little sandwiches in the little plastic packaging, and those are just so appealing that they're thinking we need to get them back.
Oh,
let's get them on the coffee.
It's always amongst the food industry that I noticed all these attack acts. So Nick, I think it's time for us to attack each other and get off the air right now.
It is. Before we do, though.
Oh, wow.
There was just a few points that I wanted to make just for people who might want to do this for themselves. All right. So you're not supposed to name your competitor. You're supposed to stay positive with these. Back it up with science. Have a contingency plan because you're probably going to have to pull it. They're probably going to sue you.
Exactly.
And don't steal their claims.
So basically, I shouldn't
don't
say
steal their claims.
I
yeah,
shouldn't
just like
say
FedEx.
Nick.
Yeah. Right.
I shouldn't say Nick. I'm going to attack you. I should say Nick. You're doing a very good job, and I'm glad to be your co-host. Right, following your rules, and then back it up with science because we're going to see how this works out.
Because you guys have great chemistry.
Exactly.
Right.
Aha.
And then
Like,
what was the other? Have a
I'm
contingency
the
plan.
best white co-host on the show.
Oh, you can back up that claim
Okay,
all
let's
day.
go. Thanks for everyone for coming out tonight. We'll see you next month.
All right, guys, thanks. And we have to thank our sponsors, obviously, Tampa Digital Studios, TBT, Gasper's Grotto, and Barefoot Wines and Bubbly. Signing off. Make good decisions this week, guys.